Hello and welcome to Headliners, your first look at tomorrow's top stories with three comedians. Before we dive in, let's take a look at what Lewis and Adam will have to work with the Sunday's front pages. The Sunday Telegraph, net zero grocery tax to push up food bills. The Sun on Sunday has free to kill, 3 warnings over Christmas market maniac. The Sunday Express, cuts force HMS Queen Elizabeth out of action. The Observer has ministers resist rush to block Musk millions going to Farage. The Mail on Sunday, the Grinch Reeves steals 45% of your donations, say charities. And finally, the Daily Star Sunday, Ronnie Craig killed Marilyn Monroe. Well, we'll find out maybe some details on that, but let's start with the Sun, Lewis.
Hello there, Stephen Allen. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We did talk to each other. Has the memory gone already?
No, you didn't talk. You were over here. I was over there. People don't know that you didn't say anything. You used to say, Lewis, what are you up to? And then I'd realize...
You did all that backstage. I know what's happened today.
Steven's
do you
not
want
that
to
kind of
talk
guy.
about what's happened today, Lewis?
He doesn't do that.
No, we don't want to talk about what's happened today. That's my own...
How are you doing, Lewis?
I'm not doing that well, Adam. It's the Christmas
That's what you've
time.
done now. Once you pop, you can't stop. Here we go.
Anyway, but this is in the Sun on Sunday. 5 dead, including child. This is horrible news. Free to kill. We should have Josh here because Josh loves horrible news.
Way to throw him in it.
Well, he does. 3 warnings over Christmas market maniac. This is a Christmas market maniac. He was really upset about what people aren't being nice to trans people. Oh, no, that's not it.
That's a different story.
I think it's Magdeburg Christmas market, a car attack. Saudis warned Germans over suspect 3 times. As shocking details emerge. I've warned you. Everybody's warned. We know there's warning. So there's no...
It's a bit more of a specific warning than just, they're all coming over here, which I think might be the warning that you've said before.
Do you want to know something? Even if they did that, there are now 40 or 50 or 60,000 people in this country on terror lists for stuff like this.
The person we're talking about there is almost more worrying because it wasn't like in the recent... Famously, Germany had I can't remember which year it was, 2016, when suddenly they had like 1 million people move in. But he wasn't one of them. He wasn't in that time.
Yeah.
It's harder than... If your theory is, well, you want to keep an eye on those people, but you're wrong because look who you've missed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting story because you look at his social media and he seems to be supporting the AfD, but he's clearly a very mentally deranged individual. He's posted in the months following up to the attack was saying things like they'll pay, I will get revenge, and even if it takes my own life. So this is somebody who should have been alerted or on the watch list of the German authorities, especially if Saudi Arabia has given them these warnings. And unfortunately, this is just a huge... something that could have been avoided potentially, which is very tragic.
It couldn't have been avoided. They've, and I don't even want to discuss it. There's some things you can't discuss, so I'm not discussing it. I want people maybe to notice my tie. It's a beautiful tie. Comes from the...
Might be a different show. I think we are here to discuss the news.
Dulwich College 2019 Society, designed by Victoria Richards.
I think that would have been a funnier bit with any one of the other stories.
Yeah, good point. Right. Back to the other story, though. It's not even just like Saudi Arabia giving warnings. His tweets gave warnings. Yeah. He gave warnings about himself. So really, this is a drop in the ball of a huge...
Yeah. What, he's the only one that they've given warnings of? The whole thing is a warning.
He tweeted saying what he was going to do. He effectively forecast it exactly.
Yeah.
And you're saying, OK, that's why it won't happen again, because now the Germans...
I've not said the way.
They know it.
No.
I don't know what the point is. The point is we can't discuss it.
There's a lot of signs here. I think the idea
and the people
is that
know we
should have been
can't
avoided.
discuss it. There's lots of signs.
We were literally discussing it.
Yeah.
Twice we've discussed it and been thrown off piece by your tie.
Yeah, because it's such a beautiful tie.
3 times now. Look at that.
From
That one was my fault.
Dulwich College. The point here is the point. The point is that there are bad people who have come into Germany.
Okay, yeah.
And they're in this country too, and they hate the country, they hate the people living in it, and they want to kill Christmas. And any attack on Christmas is an attack on Jews, because Jews own the department stores.
Well, we'll move on then. Mail on Sunday. Adam, what have they got on their front page?
Yeah, OK. So the Mail on Sunday revealed shocking cost to good causes of Chancellor's national insurance rate. So this is, the title reads, the Grinch Reeves steals 45% of your donations, says charities. So yeah, basically this is the stories. Rachel Reeves has been dubbed the Christmas Grinch because they've said in a new report, 45 pence in every pound donated to charity will now effectively go to the government.
How?
So again, whenever you get these numbers, it's always an effective tax, isn't it? So when you're sort of saying this was due to the national insurance raid that will add an extra 1.4 billion to wage bills in the already struggling voluntary sector. So this is obviously quite sad. I think also, if you're taking away 45 pence, you've also got to think charities don't give 100% even without this to their causes. There's all operational costs. You're lucky, depending if some charities are non-profit or not. So it just goes to highlight that you think charities, if they are going towards the right causes, should be tax-free, but that sadly doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, why sadly?
Because I think the idea about charities, the ones that are good, if they're supposed to be doing good, like for example, let's say cancer research, kind of quite hard to say that's not an amiable charity.
I would say that's one of the worst charities you can give money to.
You said that to a contrarian.
Not a contrarian. You picked the wrong guy.
I'm not a contrarian,
but that's
proving my point.
No, that's not the point. The point is that the government, the state, the administrative system is taking more and more of our money. The fact is, it's not just taking 45% of donations, it's taking money from here and there, and by the time...
But on this one, though, so they're saying they're taking the donation, but it is simply because charities are employers, they pay employer national insurance, and that's gone up.
Yeah.
So your theory would be that if you're a charity, you shouldn't pay national insurance, employers' national insurance. But look who gets to be a charity. It's not just the good ones that you can name, is it? There are loads, like private schools are charities. Yeah. So they shouldn't be paying national...
I wouldn't give money to anything to do with cancer. I think they're totally wrong about it.
Yeah, no, it is a murky one. You raise a valid point there, Steve. Like, it's in an ideal world, only charities that I guess the wider public would go, right, that's a bad one, that's or this is a good one. But I think you're right. So many people can play the system and create their own charities that it's
me making good points that keeps me not popular. I do apologise for it.
No,
sorry.
Also the point is this: is that the state takes too much of our money, which prevents us from being prosperous.
You've not paid tax since the 90s.
But when I say...
You don't meet the minimum threshold, Lewis. I've seen your payslip.
No, but I would pay if I made... whose fault is it?
We'd all pay if we had to.
It's
Lewis, while we've got you, the Sunday Express, what's on their front page?
I've started off so bad. This is one of the worst shows.
No, it's not bad. You've just started off not likeable.
Not likable. That makes it bad. I don't care about what I believe in. I only care about being likable.
Okay. Someone mentioned the Sunday Express.
This is the Sunday Express, which costs about £2 or something. Cuts force HMS Queen Elizabeth. That's our aircraft carrier.
Not the person.
Not the person. No, she's dead. That's right, out of action.
Don't laugh at that.
An aircraft carrier would need 6 months to be battle ready. And so this is the aircraft carrier that took like forever to build in the first place, right? That didn't have any planes. I don't even know if they have planes right now. It doesn't have any planes. And we need an aircraft carrier because when the Argentines tire of Milieu and whatever his name is, Millet and...
Milieu.
And,
French for a mixture or something, is it?
No, milieu. Age doesn't mean an age. This milieu.
I think this story, my opinion on this has been consistent. Can we stop telling other countries how unprepared for war we are? Yeah. We keep saying it. And if I was a Russian guy, if I was Putin, I'd be like, oh, great. We should be pretending that we've got the best army, the biggest army. Yeah. We should be trumping it up a little bit. Let's stop broadcasting on national television how unprepared we are for the Third World War.
That's a very good point. But at the same time, haven't we read recently that aircraft carriers are totally unnecessary nowadays? That there are long-distance drones, that aircraft carriers cost billions, and then they get blown up immediately, and you need entire forces of aircraft carriers. And we basically, except to defend these tiny little places, which we're not going to be able to get to anyway, we don't need...
These little places meaning countries.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to crack on. We'll try and fit another one in here. Is the Sunday Telegraph, Adam, on their front page?
Yes, so this is the Sunday Telegraph, and the headlines, one of the main stories here is net zero grocery tax is essentially to push up food bills. So to go into this with a little bit more detail, a £1.4 billion levy to reduce waste will see 85% of costs passed on to consumers. Now, if you're thinking, what does this mean in real terms? Yeah. Essentially, rules that are going to be put onto supermarkets to be less wasteful, including like improving the types of packaging, maybe making them more recyclable, things like that, will inevitably lead these companies to increase the prices of said food, affecting those of us on the bottom line. So, yeah, not great.
Inevitably, though, or they could use less packaging and not pay it in the same way that, when they brought in that the money you have to pay for a bag for life. You still don't buy. You don't have to drop 30p on them every single time. We actually do reuse them.
That's very true. I think that's for.
I've done it again. Have I made a? I can only apologise for making a problem.
But I think there's a slight difference there, if I may, because I think that was very for people in the supermarket. I've seen people they'll happily carry stuff without bags to save themselves 35 pence. Yeah. However, I think if there's any changes, if supermarkets themselves are forced to make any changes, no matter whether it actually costs them more money or less, they will use that as an excuse to up prices. So I think maybe that's
okay. Lewis, do you want to quickly talk about your tie?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about my tie. I paid like £2 for this tie, and it's I think I paid £1 for it at the charity shop near Lidl on Peckham Rye. And I'm getting it back because I'm wearing it.
I thought you didn't like charities. Why are you supporting charities?
Because it's my own free will and it cost £1.
They take so much of our money and they give it to the government, Lewis.
Yeah,
you've become
No,
Team
they
World.
don't. They give it to their own friends who have cancer.
45% of that pound is going to go to someone else.
But the point is this is if you believe in the need for net zero, if you believe in the climate crisis, you go ahead. You let the state take over our entire lives. We're letting Keir Starmer, who's a total incompetent, decide where we're spending our money. And then you wonder why we're so poor. This is so bad. It's so bad. And that 30% bag is, let businesses decide if they want to give out free
30% bad, yeah.
30%.
The shops you go to, you have to pay 35% just for a bag for life.
Not 35%.
No wonder you have to go to charity shops. It's the truth. That's it for the front page.